Hello, Susanna here from the Are They All Yours blog at StephenAndersonFamily.com. I wanted to make a short video today asking you to please pray for Boaz, who is having surgery this Monday. Now, it's nothing life-threatening, so I will talk a little bit more about what happened, but if you could please remember to be praying for him this coming Monday. Also, if you would like to send him a card, I'm sure that will make him really happy, and you can send those cards to the church address. I will leave the address for that in the description of this video below. Now, what happened, right? So Boaz here is 6 years old, and because he's 6 years old, he's not allowed to have any pocket knives or knives for that matter. And what happened is that we've been doing Christmas preparations. I was buying advent calendars and Christmas gifts, and I've been hiding them in my closet. In this new house, I have a walk-in closet, so I've been stashing all the gifts there. Some of them wrapped, some of them not. And one of the other kids was snooping through my closet. And Boaz found them and said, "I'm telling Mom." So he threatened to tattle on them. So the other child said, "Don't tell Mom, don't tell Mom. If you don't tell Mom, I'll let you play with this pocket knife." And this other child gave him a pretty good sized knife. It was like a multi-tool with a really big blade. But I didn't know about any of this. And evidently what happened, what were you cutting?
I was cutting wood, and then I was shutting the blade, slammed on my finger, and I tried to rip, and it cut across the other three.
Yeah, so he was cutting wood with it, and he went to shut the blade. And when he shut the blade, it shut across these 4 fingers on his left hand. And when it did, he pulled his hand out of the blade. And in doing so, he cut across all 4 fingers of this hand. And they all had a cut, but the worst one was the index finger. The index finger took the brunt of the force, and you can see that he can no longer straighten this finger. And when I first saw it, it was actually that top joint. It was hanging down at like a 90-degree angle because he cut right across the outside of that top joint. And when they showed it to me, it was like down, like literally flapping at a 90-degree angle. I kept holding it up and it would just fall down and gush blood. I mean, I almost threw up just seeing it. But I didn't see it right away because the same child that thought it would be a good idea to bribe him with a pocket knife also thought they could medically take care of it themselves and just told one of the other kids, "Quick, get me a rag, get me a rag." So another child ran to the kitchen, got a dirty dish rag off the sink, smelled like Windex, was soaking wet, and they decided to staunch the bleeding with that dirty rag. When that didn't work, they came and fetched me. I was upstairs tidying up some closet, so when I found it, the finger was hanging down and just gushing blood. Now, my husband injured his finger on the inside of his hand several years ago, and he damaged the tendon. And ever since then, that finger has been giving my husband trouble. So I didn't want that for Boaz. So I decided to take him to the emergency room, not just an urgent care, but the emergency room, because I figured his hand might need some more extensive repairs, because I figured that he cut the tendon on the outside. So we did go to the emergency room just down the street from us, conveniently. And it had been about 20 minutes since the injury by the time we got there, and probably 30 by the time the doctor looked at it. By that time, it wasn't bleeding so much anymore, and the finger wasn't just quite completely falling down every time he looked at it. And the doctor kind of acted like it was not a big deal, like, "I can put a couple of stitches in if you want." And I even mentioned to him at the time, "Well, are you sure? It seems to me that the tendon is damaged." And he said, "Oh, the tendons on the outside heal on their own," which didn't sound right to me because I know they're under tension, but I wasn't going to argue with a professional. So he put in 2 stitches, and he said to come back in 10 to 14 days to get the stitches removed. One of the stitches came out just a few days later. We did go back to get the second stitch removed. And the physician that was seeing Boaz at that time was very concerned about his finger because, like I said, he can't straighten it out. I don't know how well you can see it on video. He can't straighten it out, and this is his left hand, but he's left-handed, so this is like his most important finger. And the physician at that time also ordered an x-ray. And the x-ray actually showed a mild fracture of that finger, presumably from the force of the knife snapping shut on it. And he also said that this tendon is severely injured and that it will not heal on its own without surgery. And he referred us to a hand specialist who was able to see us just a couple of days later. And unfortunately, that guy said that without surgery, Boaz will not get full range of motion back on his finger. So it took a while to get in for that because of the holidays. They were closed Thursday and Friday. So he is going in on Monday. He will be under general anesthesia. The procedure will take about 30 minutes, but he has to be there a couple of hours early, and then he has to stay on for observation for a little bit of time. The surgeon is confident that it will fix the problem. From my understanding, they're placing a pin. I don't know what the pin will do, but they're placing a pin that will have to be removed in about 4 to 5 weeks. And by then, hopefully, Boaz's finger will be all healed up. Now, in the meantime, Boaz won't be able to do schoolwork, and he's very sad about that. Are you very sad about not being able to do schoolwork? Yes, he is. Yep, he really likes to do schoolwork. So, anyway, if you could please pray that Boaz would not have anxiety about the procedure on Monday. He does not quite understand the need for fixing his finger. He's 6 years old, and he does not want to do surgery. I feel a lot better knowing that we did everything we could to restore it to its original health, because as an adult, I don't know if the problem could worsen. It could impact the movement of his finger more, like it did in the case of my husband. So it's important to us to get it fixed. But if you could please pray for him, pray that the surgery is a success. And if you would like to send Boaz a card, I'm sure he would very much love that. You want to say anything, Bubby? No? Okay. Well, thank you for watching, and thank you for your prayers.